Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Canadian Youth Worker YouTube page and blog page. My name is Jason. I'm part of the blogging team here at CanadianYouthWorker.com, and I'm excited to share with you a blog via video, copying Dave Brotherton and some others who are experimenting with this new way of sharing information online. I want to talk to you about something that I'm really passionate about in youth ministry, and that's this idea of vision. But I want to start here with this simple quote. Vision is about orientation, not a destination. I think that's a fundamental mistake that we make in youth ministry. We think that vision is getting from here to there, but the problem is that when we get there, then we run out of vision. Vision, what I'm learning more and more about it, is that it's more about a direction, a long-term orientation rather than a destination. And you see this taking place actually in the life of the nation of Israel. Prime example, if you read the Old Testament at all, you'll know what I'm talking about. The nation of Israel was promised through their forefathers, through Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, to inherit the promised land. And that was great. God gave them a hope and a vision for their future, an orientation, a direction, and maybe even a destination with this promised land. The problem that the nation of Israel ran into is they thought that the destination was the end-all, be-all. Sometimes that seems like what we feel and what we do and what we say about youth ministry. That youth ministry is the end-all and be-all in terms of spiritual formation or discipleship or it's the epitome of the faith experience for kids. And that the problem is that spiritual formation takes place long before students and families are even in youth ministry, and long after students and families are in youth ministry. So we've got to reframe our vision to engage more this long-term idea and understanding rather than a short-term destination. Otherwise, we'll be like the Israelites who got preoccupied with the promised land, that sense of arrival, that they've made it, and they lost sight of what God wanted to do in them and through them. They lost sight of the hope and the future that God was building for them as a nation. They lost sight of the rhythm of life that they were being invited into. And I don't think that's something that we want to be associated with in youth ministry. Our vision must be about an orientation, a long-term direction, not just a destination. Because the kids that when they graduate our ministry, the students that graduate, they haven't arrived. They're being, hopefully, they're being launched into the next season of life with greater tools to find success for what God has wired them to do. Second thing I want to talk about with this vision stuff is your values should inform your vision. If there are things that you are doing that are detracting from your long-term vision as a youth ministry, find the courage to stop doing them. Programs that don't have a purpose are completely useless. So unless they're feeding into your vision and where you want to go long-term, your orientation, your direction as a youth ministry, stop doing them. Find that courage. Lastly, you need to refine your success metric around your vision. If you believe that vision is an orientation, not a destination, then your success metric has to change. Maybe you can't count conversions as success anymore, even though that's an awesome thing to celebrate. Maybe instead you have to count the number of spiritually oriented conversations that students are having inside the walls of your ministry and outside the walls of your ministry, and use that as a success metric instead of just conversions and people coming to Christ, which is still worth celebrating. Anyways, those are some ideas around vision and orientation and destination and youth ministry. Would love to hear your feedback. Post some comments, some questions, some thoughts. Push back. Do you agree with me? Is vision about a long-term orientation more than a destination? It's up to you. Look forward to hearing from you. God bless.